Morning, all. All right, so some news of the day for all you fine people for your Saturday, January the 21st, as we're almost up to February. So, for Montreal fans, not a great day today, finding out that Caufield is having season-ending shoulder surgery, so he's done for the year. This added to the other injuries they're dealing with. Not great news. For Montreal, a team that is basically out of the playoff race, they're really in on the Bedard race now, aren't they? And they absolutely are allowed to have that number one draft pick. It just means that if they won the draft lottery this year, they would be barred for the next few because they would have won two within the last 5 years. So that means they'd be barred from the next draft lottery, which I think Montreal would take that bullet in order to get Connor Bedard. Just hazarding a guess. For Carolina fans, of course, this came out shortly after I posted that video yesterday that it is a torn Achilles for Pacioretty. Again, you could tell by looking at the video. Said it out loud. I was like, that's his Achilles, and he probably came back too soon. But he missed 38 games due to that injury initially. Tearing it again, it depends on the nature of the tear and all that. They've only put him on the IR, which kind of surprises me. I figure LTIR with that injury, but at this point, it looks like he's only been put on injured reserve. So maybe they're optimistic it won't be as bad, but basically those will take a long time to recover from. So I'm really surprised they didn't just put him on the long-term injured reserve list. Thomas Nosek will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. He has fractured his left foot. So notice that's not, he's going to return to the Boston lineup in 4 weeks. He will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. Totally different language. So for the Bruins, they'll be without him. He's been very useful on their fourth line. Really, really solid play from him thus far this season. And it won't be that easy. The good news is Boston does have a deep organization. And when guys come up from Providence, generally they know what they're doing right out of the gate. They fit right in. Chris Wagner hasn't skipped a beat. He's looked good since getting called back up. Bruce Boudreau last night was and admitted after the game he was touched by the support from the fans. It has been something to see how Canuck fans have supported him. Remember, these are the same fans that all gave a nice ovation to Stamkos when he had 500 goals the other night. Canuck fans get a lot of criticism, and it's not unwarranted in many cases, but it has been nice to see the way that the fan base has treated Bruce. And so good luck to Rick Tocchet stepping into that. I keep saying that, but seriously, it's you're basically coming in and replacing one of the most popular coaches I've seen in Canucks history, right up there with Pat Quinn, right up there with Alain Vigneault at his peak, Mark Crawford at his peak, and I'm saying at his peak because those two both, by the time they were out, fans were okay with the idea of them being replaced. Seems a little different this time. So he said it's right up there with winning championships, and just the feeling he has with the way that the fans are treating him has been really nice. So at least there's that, right? He could be unemployed as soon as tomorrow. So at least the fans have been really nice to him. In general, Canuck fans are decent about things. They're just not afraid to express their discontent, which is not something that's all that odd around the National Hockey League. Hockey fans will let you know when they're not happy. Ask any referee anywhere at any level in hockey. So Eric Staal has been placed on the IR. So $5,000 of a fine to the player who injures him. It's an upper body injury for Eric Staal, and hopefully he's not out for that long. Again, you look to make sure they're not going on the long-term injured reserve. Eric Staal really, really has played quite well for Florida since they picked him up. Bobrovsky will not dress against the Wild tonight. It's a lower body injury for him. They're not saying a whole lot about it. It doesn't sound like it's that bad. Lyon will get the start today. And against the Minnesota Wild, we'll see how things go, right? So for Florida, a team that is really trying to, storm their way up above the playoff line again. They're not that far away now. But the goaltending is one thing that's really helped them throughout this as they get back into it. Bobrovsky's been good. Spencer Knight, meanwhile, yesterday was sent down to the American Hockey League for conditioning. So Knight's almost ready to return, which is good news. They just have to have Alex Lyon go out and give them maybe one, maybe two good games before Knight will be back up and ready to play. The All-Star break could be really useful for them. Bruce Cassidy yesterday also. This was in the news, and I figured I'd throw it on this board for today. He did call out Jack Eichel for his play and how they need him to play better. The one thing that I'll say with Eichel is, this has been the debate with Eichel for a long time, right? Is what the ceiling is with him, what to expect from teams that he's on, and can he really, put a team under his wing and help them turn things around? He is paid like a player that should. And so with what Vegas is going through and the amount of injuries they have, this is really his time to either shine, or there will be a lot of people circling back and saying, so Eichel, not quite what they expected in Vegas. Vegas is at home against the Capitals tonight. It does not get easier. They've lost 3 in a row, and now they've got a Washington team coming in that does really need a victory as well. So we'll see how things go for Vegas. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.